morning, East Castle Place. How's everybody doing? Welcome to this edition of Coffee with Tyler. Special shout out to Scott for making this possible, where I'm actually able to film the day of. So, wanted to do this because knew that we had some exciting news coming before us yesterday, Wednesday, February 3rd. So today is February 4th. So, before we get started, as always, hope you have your favorite cup of Joe with you, favorite beverage alongside, and join me in the first sip. Alright, so, wow, what a day yesterday. We, in partnership with our pharmacy partner, CVS, produced and administered close to 300 vaccines yesterday between the hours of 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Not a small task, and want to dig into that a little bit and give you some perspectives. So, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for filling out your consents ahead of time. Thank you for the vast majority of you that had patience and understanding, and a few things that we learned along the way that we'll also look forward to a little bit later on in this Coffee with Tyler. So yeah, 300 vaccines of the Moderna. With that, roughly 150, give or take, again, rough estimates, I have the details, but I'll give you rough estimates. Rough estimates, 150 were second doses. So the second doses were administered to our skilled nursing residents on our Bradford Terrace 4 and 5, our CBRF residents on the 3rd floor of Bradford Terrace, and our water tower folks in assisted living on 2nd and 3rd, 4th floor. Then we had an additional 76 employees from the last clinic receive their second dose, myself included. The other 150 were dispersed to new employees that received the vaccine. We had an additional 26 employees, so right now we're over 50% from our employee population that did receive the vaccine. The national average right now in healthcare is 40%. We will continue our encouragement of staff to receive the vaccine. We also included some private duty caregivers that work closely with many of you on a consistent basis, as well as clergy. And so again, then outside of that, we had 97% of our independent living residents receive their first of 2 doses. Very, very strong numbers. Again, a huge shout out to CVS, our partner. They brought along over 10 individuals to do the data entry and to administer the vaccines. A big thank you to the staff and the nurses and MSOE students that participated and made the day go as smooth as possible. And lastly, of course, you. Thank you for coming down, receiving the vaccine, and in many cases, for your patience. The patience is something that I knew was going to be necessary all along. And so for those of you that exuded that patience and understanding, a large thank you. To those that, had a little bit more, maybe, concern, anxiety, again, I understand. I know a few of you may have felt that it was slightly disorganized. Again, it's things to learn from. This was the first this was CVS's largest vaccine clinic, but all in all, a good day here at East Castle Place. Also, so what can we learn from yesterday? Well, the next vaccine clinic, again, is March 3rd, for those of you that received the first dose. You'll receive this communication in written format throughout the month, leading up to the March 3rd clinic. So mark the calendars, March 3rd. The good thing about March 3rd is we have roughly half the doses to administer. And so again, that'll ease some of that data entry and the vaccinating process. Also, the insurances that were entered yesterday that I know we had hiccups with a few of you. Again, no fault to you or Teresa. There was just some information that CVS was entering into their system and wasn't lining up, or they needed some additional detail. With that, this again, a few of you took the opportunity to kind of let that first wave. So individuals that came down 20 minutes ahead of their vaccinating times. Again, that's of course what you can do. We had more than enough vaccine the entire time, but this is one of those areas where you may want to try to measure yourself. Measure the line and see that there is a long line, so maybe come back. Because for those of you that did do that, I think went a little bit smoother. Also, at 3:15, the CVS representative came over to me and said, Tyler, we're running into an issue. We do not have the vials thawed. So as you've probably heard, the vials come in a super chilled container and they need to be brought up to room temperature naturally. So it took about 45 minutes. So for those of you in the historic building that came down at 3:30 as you were slotted to, thank you for your understanding, because at 3:15 we were made aware that 4 o'clock was going to be the next time we were able to vaccinate. Again, those are hiccups that you're going to have along the way. When you work with a partner pharmacy, they were doing consents, we had them all filled out, we had the labels on when we wanted them, and they focused a little bit differently, making sure that those individuals in the skilled nursing in Bradford Terrace and Water Tower, where they had to go door to door, were entered first, and so that delayed a little bit on the paperwork as well. So again, next time I'm going to work with Teresa Jenkins. I'll reach out to the council members, so please feel free to give the council members your feedback on the clinic, as I'll be partnering with them to see how we can even make it smoother for you. Whether that's, you know, floor by floor. We tried to do building. We didn't do floor by floor because we figured that would add to the confusion. And so again, we'll just work through the process. I'll talk with the resident council to see what we can do better. But again, thank you again to all of you for your patience and understanding. Again, I know many of you, a few of you were waiting in excess of 30 minutes for that vaccine, some longer than that. Although hopefully you were able to stay inside the comfort of East Castle Place and not have to drive somewhere or wait in your car or anything of that nature. So there is some benefit there, but again, we'll try to smooth out the process. So I'll be meeting with my director team today to review how the clinic went, the employee engagement, and then again, March 3rd offers another opportunity for those employees that did not receive the vaccine. So again, a lot to be had. But you as residents should be proud of your participation. Again, the reason why we didn't have 100% was because there were some doctors that said maybe it wasn't right for that individual. So again, doctor's orders, as I said before, and in my memo, to reach out to your physician and make sure it's right for you. As this is a new vaccine. Although it's gone through all the FDA processes, I trust the science. It's gone through the vetting process. So again, we'll work through that piece and look forward to March 3rd. Mark your calendars for that. Along with that, some of you might be feeling like myself, a sore arm, maybe some other types of symptoms. Please do let us know. That is part of the vaccine and the risks associated with that. But if you have those, I know that the nurses and pharmacists were suggesting Tylenol for some of those aches and pains. Anything that persists longer, of course, immediately seek medical attention, whether that's emergent or letting your physician know, seeing what happens, and then let us know too, Teresa and myself, that we can help you out and kind of guide you as you're waking up this morning. And maybe not feeling maybe a little achy, maybe not quite right. Those symptoms are pretty normal and should subside within the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's see, what else do we have as far as the COVID vaccine clinic? Again, I think I shared with you all the stats. The Moderna vaccine, again, CVS, our partner, will be back March 3rd. Be similar layout in Lindsay Hall is my assumption, but much more detail will follow regarding the next upcoming clinic. So, big day. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Alright, so what does that mean now that we got the first vaccine? Well, Well, as I've said a million times, COVID is still a risk. It's still a strong threat. It's still prevalent in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin, and a threat to East Castle Place. These masks are still mandated. Just because you receive the vaccine does not mean that you don't need to wear these or you can take down your guard against COVID-19. Trust me when I say this, I do not want you to, I do not want to see you or any employees walking around without this mask. Although the vaccine, the second dose, gets you to about a 96%, 95, 96% protection rate. By no means are these going away. The dining room also will remain closed. Again, we're just doing that as we want to get through the second dose for independent living residents. We're close, but again, these masks are still very important, and so obviously when you're eating, those masks are being taken down. With that being said, we do think that maybe in the near future, we may be able to do some small social distance gatherings, because again, the masks should be able to be worn and monitored. Again, staff will be present there. So again, that's something that Laura, myself, and the team are looking into. As far as visitors, visitors will remain for our assisted living, skilled nursing, and memory support folks in the fireplace room, working on, for independent living, how you can see your loved ones. Now, I know many of you throughout this time have been able to see your loved ones, socially distanced, etc. Just wanting to make sure that, again, we take of utmost precaution before we're bringing in the outside individuals into our community. Again, for your protection, for their protection. Now, Wisconsin, I know, opened up yesterday at 2 p.m. a website for sign up for the vaccine in part of their rollout. I know that it's becoming more and more I won't say norm, because that word gets a little loaded, but more and more available is what I'll say. And so again, just wanting to make sure we take strategic steps and process. So I have a document that I'm working on to hopefully lay that out for you all pretty clear, and appreciate your understanding and patience with this process. Again, I know that it's been a long road. We're in month 11, but again, that light at the end of the tunnel, as was yesterday, seems to be close. So again, I want to reiterate that COVID-19 is a threat. I do not want you to let your guard down. I do want you to remain socially distanced, and those social practices that you've been doing for the last 11 months to mitigate the risk of COVID-19 entering our community. So, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, suggestions, please let myself know, please let Teresa know. We're here for you, Maureen as well, who was a huge piece of the coordination of that effort. So, thank you so much for yesterday. Again, a great day at East Castle Place. But again, the fight is still in front of us. Speaking of fight, speaking of Wisconsin, speaking of winter, I saw different reports on the groundhog. I believe the Pennsylvania, I forget his name, saw his shadow, extra 6 weeks. Then I saw, I believe, the groundhog at the county zoo did not. So we should have an early spring. Well, today we are in a winter weather advisory. So what that means is we can expect snow, we can expect more snow starting this afternoon, it appears, and followed by bitter, bitter cold. I saw a high of 0 on either Friday or Saturday. Wind chills in the -30s. I ask that you remain safe. If you do not have to travel, do not travel. If you do not have to go out to the grocery store or doctor's appointments, do not go out to doctor appointments, and reschedule them if possible. With the cold, we know that when we go outside, even for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, the frostbite is a real threat and a real thing. So again, walk inside, walk the hallways, be safe if you have to go outside. Layer, bundle up. I just really want to urge and again, be a partner with you in guarding against the bitter cold. Again, I know all of you have been a part of Wisconsin winters. A few of you have delayed your trips down to Florida. I know that as well. But again, the bitter cold, please, please, please do take precautions. Please stay inside if you're able to. Again, our guys will be, maintenance team will be outside throughout the day and the evening, most likely cleaning up the snow to make sure the entrances are available for emergency vehicles as well as safe for our staff to get in and out. So again, please guard against that. Thank you for your understanding. If you see staff, again, your words of encouragement go so far. Again, everybody's working in the best interest of East Castle Place. State of the Castle recap, if there's any questions regarding that, hopefully you all saw that. Again, thank you for your notes and comments. Know that you do not have to wait for that. I'm available for you, and also all the director team. However, one director will be out next week. Carlos Matos will be out on some PTO, as well deserved, so his team will be taking care of us. But if you have questions or concerns, obviously let me know. I will be out of office tomorrow, so I can't believe it, but Hunter, my son, is turning 4 months old, actually turned 4 months old, and so we have a checkup appointment with him. I've been able to share a few pictures with you about his growing. We are close to rolling over, so again, the days of sedentary and being able to kind of watch him sleep and put him in one place, I think are coming to a close. So it's exciting. He's growing. He's healthy. My wife is doing well. She's back to work. And so again, from the Gudex household to all of you, I want to say thank you for all the words of encouragement, support, tips, and tricks, and appreciate again from the personal side all that you accomplish and do for me. Lastly, I forgot, but I'm going to go back to the vaccine clinic. I apologize if I got your name wrong, Miss Frankowiak, for instance. I apologize. Again, by no means do I ever mean to call anybody by a wrong name. I vet and I appreciate each and every one of you, but there was a lot going on yesterday and my mind got a little boggled. A little juggled, and so if I did call you by the wrong name, my apologies. By no means did I mean to do so. We were just working through trying to get everybody in line and vaccinated. So again, hope you can take that apology and accept it. So all right, that is about it for this time. So again, there's a lot going on at the community. Big day yesterday, February 3rd. Another big day ahead of us, March 3rd. More details to come. If you have questions, if you have concerns, suggestions, please let me know. We're here for you. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off with a sip. Stay warm, stay well, stay cautious, and most importantly, stay ECP strong. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.